No, sir. I don't think there is zero explanation for this, fam. I could never get tricked out of my spot. By the title and thumbnail, y'all already know what to expect because this is 100,000% facts. Fam, I ain't here to bash what you like, what your preference is, fam, but you have to be a different type of person to try to trick somebody. Or you cannot be on your P's and Q's to get tricked, fam. But to trick somebody is outrageous, man. Let's get into this right now and see what happened, man.
This is what happened with a young man in Chicago by the name of Orlando Perez.
Dang.
Investigators say the teenage suspect was so enraged that after shooting the victim multiple times, he left and then returned to the crime scene to open fire once again.
What?
Police say video from the neighborhood led them to the alleged 18-year-old Orlando Perez, now held without bond. Investigators say Perez had gone home with the victim, 37-year-old Selena Reyes Hernandez, shortly after meeting her on the morning of May 31st. And in her basement apartment in Marquette Park, Perez learned Reyes Hernandez was transgender.
The offender became very upset. He left the residence. He became more upset, and that's when he came back to the residence. And then he brutally murdered the victim in this case.
Dang.
Prosecutors say Perez returned to the apartment a third time, again opening fire on the victim's lifeless body.
And in this case with Orlando Perez, the transgender woman was much older than he was, in the 30s. This was a young guy, 18, which leads me to believe that, you know, although it was legal for the transgender to be messing with this young man, he was young, okay? And he was impressionable. He just didn't know that this person was not born a woman. He actually had to find out when he got there. The problem was when he found out, he shouldn't have came back and gunshots. That was the issue, right? That was premeditated murder. And that's why he's in jail right now. That part of the situation was against the law. But it was also wrong of this person to make him believe that they were a woman when in fact he found out that they were not. And who knows?
Yeah, it needs to be some type of law like that, man. Like, cause that stuff can go wrong, man. That's how a lot of people lose their life, man. Give people the option to choose. If that's what they want to do, then give them the option to do that. You know what I'm saying? But like, to just trick somebody into doing that, that's like the grape. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say that word, but y'all fill in the blank.
Who knows how far they were getting into it. Basically, the transgender individual should have let the person know up front that I am born a man and now this. Then he would have had the opportunity to choose a situation. But also, that's not the only case. The biggest case of them all is trending all across Highland Park, Michigan, which is right outside of Detroit. There was a young man who was 17 at a time by the name of Carlos Lamar Scotland. He came across Aisha Davis. Looking at Aisha Davis or Asia Davis, from what I'm seeing right now,
you can't even tell, bro. Like, I mean, you kind of tell by the jawbones. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, you can't tell, fam. Like, you cannot tell at all, bro.
To me, looks like a woman that was born a woman.
Literally.
He's a young kid looking to clap some cheeks. He goes in there, booty clapping sounds. Then he finds out that this particular individual is not born a woman. And if this information gets out, man, it's gonna be bad. So this is the decision that he made.
A cold murder case is finally solved. Let's get out to Highland Park in Shawn Lay, where a woman was shot and killed last summer. Sean, you have news of a big break in this case.
Truly a big break. A tragedy here at the Woodward Inn, but it happened months ago. Really just one clue to this one.
This is like where a movie was shot at.
24-hour video, good cameras here. That gave MSP something to go on. They truly called this investigation a whodunit. Well, it has been solved, and now Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy made the announcement today.
She was beloved in her community, and she was known to be generous and a compassionate person, according to her family and many, many friends.
Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy highlighting the tragic and mysterious murder of Asia Davis. Let me take you back to June 1st, 2023, and the Woodward Inn in Highland Park. A security camera capturing this person coming in, then running out. But that person wasn't captured for months. That night, police finding the body of the 36-year-old Asia Davis in her room. She had been shot in her head.
It is alleged that the defendant shot and killed her. At the time of her death, she had recently completed nursing school and was going to start a new job when her life was tragically cut short.
At last, a break in what was a very cold case. This 18-year-old Carlos Lamar Scotland was arrested this week and charged with Davis's murder.
Carlos Lamar Scotland is 18 years old. He has been charged with the following offenses.
Dang, this seemed like a pattern right here. 2 30-year-old trans messing with 18-year-olds. Like, it just seemed men at that. It just seems like a pattern, bro. Like, what? It's crazy, man. Like,
first-degree murder,
preying on these
felony
men,
firearm,
preying on children is crazy, bro. Like these kids that's fresh out of high school, 18, fresh out of high school, and preying on them and turning their life, like, and not even telling them what it is you got going on is just crazy, bro. Like, that's disrespectful. Like, there ain't no logical explanation for that.
carrying a concealed weapon, and resisting and obstructing a police officer.
Back here live at the Woodward Inn in Highland Park. That's an 18-year-old now facing all of those charges. Prosecutor Worthy says we'll learn more about the circumstances of what went down here when he goes to court in a couple of weeks.
And just recently, he went viral again for doing this inside of the courtroom.
Today was the first day of testimony in the trial of a man accused of killing a transgender woman in Highland Park.
But the proceedings ended abruptly when the defendant fell asleep. CBS News Detroit's Andres Gutierrez joins us from 30th District Court with what exactly happened in that courtroom.
Well, before this morning's proceedings got underway, the defendant, Carlos Scotland, was talking to his attorney, mouthing something to someone in the gallery. But once the first witness took the stand, well, he couldn't stay awake.
Mrs. Scotland, are you okay?
Many in the courtroom saw this as pure disrespect.
Is your client still awake?
Carlos Scotland dozing off as the lead investigator recounted the inconsistencies during his interrogation of the 18-year-old charged with the June 2023 murder of Asia Davis at the Woodward Inn.
Did the defendants ever suggest that there was some type of altercation in the room?
Yes.
And when you look at that picture, sir, is there anything that would suggest there was a struggle or altercation in that room?
Not at all.
MSP Detective James Plummer says Scotland eventually admitted to shooting Davis.
And could you tell us, what did he say as it relates to that, sir?
That he, after the victim swung at him, that he shot the victim in the face or neck area.
Okay. And are you familiar with the medical examiner's report in this case, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And was the victim shot in the face or the neck, sir?
No.
In fact, where was she actually shot?
In the back of the head.
Literally in the back of the head at close range, correct?
Yes.
Dang.
Did he ever correct that part of it?
No.
Scotland initially claimed it was all done in self-defense after she allegedly attacked him with a knife.
He initially said that he had took the knife and discarded it in a field. He then recanted that and said that the victim swung at him with a closed right fist while possessing a phone in the victim's left hand.
Okay. And did he ever say where the knife was that he claims was there?
He provided great detail initially, looking at him.
Bro, ain't this a crime to just even tell somebody your wrong age? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't this a crime? Or that's not a crime because technically, I mean, when you're above the age of consent, you're above the age of consent. But it got to be when you're below the age of consent. If somebody acting like, oh, I'm 17 and they really 28, 25, messing with a 15-year-old and they lied about the age like that, like this got to be the same type of thing, man.
Map as to where he discarded this knife before saying that there was no knife.
And just as the detective was getting into details about how Scotland and Davis ended up meeting that fateful night, Scotland's episode began. Eventually, his attorney told the judge another inmate allegedly slipped Scotland 3 pills before coming to court, causing the drowsiness and forcing the judge to adjourn for the day.
Asia Davis, age 36, was found dead in the Highland Park hotel room June 1st, 2023, with a single gunshot wound to her head. And I'm reading this from the article advocate.com. And again, my heart goes out to the family of Asia Davis. But I just want to ask this. Again, this is a person who is young, 17. 17 with a person that's 36 in another state, that's usually illegal, but I did Google the legal age of intercourse as an adult. It's actually 16. So technically, this is legal. The issue is the young man went there with a premeditated intention to assassinate the individual, Asia Davis.
So did he know beforehand? If he knew beforehand, bro, why was you know what I'm saying? Why would you go all out your way to just go and do that? Like, that just was pointless. If you knew beforehand and you just wanted to walk away from the situation, just walk away. But I can see the first girl lying. I don't think that the second girl lied. I think she straight up told him and he just was mad that he liked her some weird stuff. You get what I'm saying? He just looked like, she didn't look like the type of person that sits there and hides something like that. Like, in all honesty, like, especially when you can barely even tell. Like, I don't think, if they ain't say she was naked or nothing like that, like she was clothed. So buddy went there with the premeditation of doing that. They mean that he knew before he got there. The other person found out when things was about to go on. It's a total difference.
When this shouldn't have happened, okay? I'm not trying to tell somebody how to feel if they feel like they have been violated or they have been tricked. And of course, you know, hey, it could take a part of a masculinity away from an individual. However, the way that they're putting these things out is, listen, this is a person of color, okay? This is a person that got, you know, a shot on the first week of Pride Week. And so this is how they're just, you know, displaying it. So this 17-year-old young man who obviously, you know, didn't tell the story about what really went down was ashamed that this person or the transgender woman was pretending to be a woman that was born like that and didn't tell this young man. So he goes and gets a gun, and now he's gonna face life in prison. I'm gonna tell guys this, especially if you're in some of these cities, and I'm talking about Highland Park is, you know, outside of Detroit, you in DC, you in Atlanta, you need to be very peculiar about, before you go out on these dates, you need to ask a person, were you born genetically a female?
Like you definitely be able to tell a difference. I don't know. It's probably just because I be on my P's and Q's with situations. Like I can literally tell. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you definitely got to be on your P's and Q's. I feel like no matter where you at around the world, like the world is changing, man. A lot of things is different. So you always got to be on your pivot. I ain't saying go up straight and ask somebody if they this is and that, but I'm positive you will be able to tell by just having a conversation with somebody. Like I'm 100% positive you will be able to tell. If you can't tell visually, you will be able to hear it and just tell. Like when you get real close up, you will be able to feel some type of aura. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Like, I know I'll be able to tell. But it's just sad to see how these situations turned out, man. Condolences to the families of the people who lost their lives. Man. It's in a situation like that, man, where people just black out. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in some situation like this, like his Muggs really prayed, you know? Basically, like Muggs was 18 and 17 and they 30 plus and didn't say nothing. Like, if that's not praying, that I don't know what that is. But y'all let me know your honest thoughts and opinions on this down below, man. Make sure if you all enjoy this reaction video, you smash the like button, comment, and also subscribe for your boy, man. And remember, the more like this video get, the higher the rank, man. Let's go.